In 1988, Brian Ramirez was born in Houston, Texas. He was a happy child who loved to draw and play video games. He was funny and the fastest runner in the neighborhood. Everybody loved him. As a teenager, Brian built his first computer. He dreamed of becoming a computer engineer. His future seemed bright until he was introduced to marijuana. He loved it. He would get high with his friends, abandoning his studies in favor of the fleeting euphoria. To support his marijuana habit, Brian resorted to theft. He robbed houses, cars, and scavenged for leftover doobies in ashtrays. His life was spiraling out of control. He got arrested for possession and began associating with violent criminals to sustain his addiction. Brian knew he needed to protect himself. One day, he stumbled upon an old book that would change his life forever. Arnold Schwarzenegger's book of bodybuilding. Mesmerized by the photos and the promise of strength, he started working out. But the results weren't coming fast enough. Brian was introduced to a new, more dangerous substance, creatine monohydrate. Desperate for faster gains, he began experimenting with different doses and methods. He snorted it, smoked it, even injected it. His favorite method? Inserting it rectally. It gave him the most intense feeling without the needles. One fateful day, Brian decided to have the best workout of his life. He opened a new container of creatine and inserted a staggering 30 servings rectally. The rush of power was overwhelming. He worked out intensely, pushing his body to its limits. But the extreme dosage combined with the intense workout proved fatal. Brian suffered a heart attack and was found lifeless on his bench press, with the creatine coming out of his ears and eyes. This is the tragic story of Brian Ramirez, a young man whose life was destroyed by drug abuse, starting with marijuana and escalating to a deadly addiction to creatine monohydrate. Let this be a stark warning. The dangers of substance abuse are real and unforgiving. Brian Ramirez, born in Houston, Texas, a bodybuilder, a marijuana addict, a creatine monohydrate addict. He died of a creatine monohydrate overdose. Stay safe and remember, no gain is worth your life.